Before we get into today's episode, I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Edge Pizza Ovens. And I'll tell you exactly why I like these guys. George pulls up to your shop to bake your pizza, your dough, your sauce, your cheese, your toppings through their oven to show you the quality that you can get from that conveyor. It's not like you're shopping online for an oven or you got to go to a showroom and talk to a sales guy. We're talking about, let's see what your product does through the oven with a test bake. He loads up the test truck and drives to wherever you are. It is the best process I've ever seen when it comes to showing people what these ovens can do. And I'm not just saying it because they sponsored the show. I'm using an Edge oven here at the shop. You guys have seen it, love it to death. It literally changed how we run and how we operate as a pizzeria. So I encourage you to just check him out. If you want to see where George is headed, he's all over the country all the time. Just follow hashtag Where's George Today on Instagram, on Facebook. Also, if you want to book a test bake, you want to see what it can do, you want to see him come to your shop, or you don't think he can match your bake, your quality, go to edgeovens.com/test bake. I'll put the link in the show notes, but you can schedule a test bake for yourself and see the results. Now let's get into the episode. What's going on, Pizza Fam? Listen, what happens when you get a phone call in your shop and your wife hands you the phone and there's somebody from the local news saying, hey, did you know that you were one of the 101 best pizza shops in the country? That's exactly what happened when Gary Wilson answered the phone, or when Gary's wife answered the phone and handed it to him. And one of the local reporters in Kansas City told him that he was on a list that he didn't even know about. That's the testament of just putting in that hard work, staying on the grind, continuing to care about your product and your community. Gary did all of those things and built an incredible business over there in Kansas City. So I think you're really gonna love his story. You're gonna love this episode. Really good friend of mine, great guy that really, just cares about what he's doing, cares about the people in his life. Gary Wilson from Wilson's Pizza and Grill in Kansas City, Kansas. Enjoy the episode. So you're only doing Facebook and TikTok? Are you running ads or you just doing all organic?
Most of mine, I used to do ads. Then my popularity grew. I just started doing all organic. I just did a bunch of organic. And now, since I've been doing the frozen pizza, my son has started buying ads and different things for the frozen pizzas and stuff. But so it runs on my Facebook page and my business Facebook page, and also on my TikTok page and all that. But I don't. Ads is just so expensive, and I I just I had kind of formulated something. I would ask people to share my stuff, and people would share, and I just believe in the organic over even over buying the ads, because ads are very expensive, they eat into your money, and I tell you, man, when I I just do so good just organically.
Yeah.
Yes.
How did you stumble upon that? Upon that just organic social media type stuff? Because like you had to get there, and then we can talk about it as we get to your story. But you've been there since '93, so it wasn't like this was like you just came in doing Facebook and TikTok, because those things didn't exist. How did you get to that point?
I tell you, like when I first started doing business, like even when I first started the pizza game, I first started doing pizza in like 1992, 93, about 92, 93, when I first started doing pizza. And I would just get the neighborhood boys, and what we would do, we would just go out, and I would make like 10,000 flyers a week, man, at a print shop right across the street from me. We just pass flyers out day and night. Every morning, I pick these young kids up. We just go out, hit all the neighborhoods, man, just passing out flyers, passing out flyers. Then I was doing this radio station called KPRS. I was doing radio, I did radio all the way up until 2011, and spent a lot of money on radio, and then but flyers, 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 flyers. And then, like around like 2012, 13, I had a friend used to come in here. His name was Hood Star, and he would come in and he would always go live. Like I'm, he made music. He would always come in. I'd be back there making burgers or pizzas, whatever. I'm down here at Wilson's Pizza and Grill. He going live. So this is like 2011, 12, somewhere around there. So and I had an iPhone too. So I started going live myself. I said, man, I can go live on this thing. And this is the funny thing, my kids, But if they would come home from school when I was first started going live and stuff, they was in high school by that time. They like because at this time wasn't nobody really going live. You know, it's kind
No,
of
not
bullshit
then.
going
No.
live. You know, he'd be like, my kids come home with a little smile on their face, like, "Hey, why you go live today?" I said, "Well, I say, son, I say, you know, people seeing my food makes a difference." I say, "Hey, I was spending $500 a week with KPRS." I say, now people can see me and see my food. And so I just, you know, every day, man, I make a post, man. I post every single day, every single day.
I see the pizzas, and honestly, the hat has become so famous just from seeing it on those posts. You
Yes,
do it. You just pick up the phone and just start and just go every day.
that's what I do every day. I go live every day. I make a post every day, go live every day.
Man, that's how did you get over the uncomfortable part of it?
You know, from the beginning, it was uncomfortable, but now it's just like second nature. You know, just get up in the morning. My God, I have my mind set. That's what I'm gonna do every day. You know, my mind is
Yes.
set, and I'm just comfortable. You know, and I enjoy it.
I'm sure at this point now, because it's grown and your social media is so popular, that people come from further out just to see you, right?
Oh man, you know, I done had people come from across the whole country to see me. I really have. I had these two guys. One lived in Maine, and one lived
Wow.
in Washington State. I was on their bucket list. They went to college together. I was on their bucket list. They came in and ate with me. I done had a family drive in from Wisconsin on a Sunday just to eat with me. Yeah, I done had a whole lot of people come from a lot of different places, man. Had people call me from around the world calling me.
Well, now, and with the frozen pizza, they can really have that interaction with you without even having to spend too much on the travel and getting there.
Ex-
That's just
exactly.
expanded your brand even more.
Yes, it has. You know, the frozen pizza, man, people are calling from all over the country and ordering from all over the country.
Hey, I got me a little pack down here in Florida.
I appreciate you too. Yeah.
I appreciate you. They're fire. They're
Thank you.
fire.
Yeah.
How did that happen? Just even deciding to do frozen, because that's not easy. That's a whole different ball game.
It's a whole different ball game. Take a whole different dynamic to even do it. But see, in like 2001 and 2 and 3, I was in a store called the Hen House. I was out in Lee Summit, Missouri. I was inside of a store. And I made take and bakes there. And a lot of
Okay.
time, these people will come in and they would want their pizzas frozen. They would want to take their pizza home. So like I had an oven inside. They had a stone oven inside there. They didn't want their pieces cooked. They want to take it home and freeze it and cook it on another day. So I had been doing that, and then I stayed in that store until that store closed up.
Okay.
And then when I was still have my original store going, so I had started making frozen pizzas for this gas station, one that was directly across the street from me. And then they had another store over in Kansas City, Missouri. I was making pizzas for them. This is like in 2011, 12, somewhere around there. So I always had wanted to do this frozen pizza thing, but you know, time and just really get it all together, getting your mindset you're gonna do it. So back over the summer, I went and bought all the equipment I need. Went and bought my packing machine and all that kind of stuff. I said, "Hey, I'm going to hit it this year. I'm gonna get started with it." So in
Yeah.
2026, I got busy with it again. Yep.
I love it. Let's kind of go back to the beginning, because I want to give the audience a real introduction into who you are and what you're doing over there, because it's really special. What I read was, in the early 90s, the big chains weren't coming to the community, to the neighborhood where you are. So you decided that you were going to open up your thing. Is that how that happened?
Well, actually, I'm gonna tell you exactly how it happened. This is my father had opened up the store because we always had stores, little grocery store, corner store, and stuff like that. So my
Okay.
father opened up a store down here, 1801 Quindale Boulevard, in the Kansas City, Kansas. So he opened that store up, and he had tried to get my brother to run it. My brother didn't want to run it. So I was working a job at a company called Stanley Hardware, and I would ride past it going on my way to work or come home, and I saw that it was closed. So I said, "Hey, Dad," I went by and saw my father. I said, "I see you been closed." He said, "Yes, I think I'm gonna close that store on down." I said, "Well, let me take over." He said, "Well, you go and give it a shot if you want to." So I started had my job, and I was started doing the store at the same time. So this thing came out where the schools, Pizza Hut was delivering pizza to the schools. So they said, "Well, we ain't gonna come to the schools no more," and they already would not never delivering to the community. So I I had just started. That's when I started doing the pizza.
Okay, because
Yeah,
Pizza
when
Hut would they were already trying to they were going to the schools, but they weren't going to the community.
no, they wouldn't come to the community. So I had a slogan. I say, "If they want, Wilson's will." That's what I had on my
And
flyer. Yeah, if they won't deliver to you, Wilson's will.
had you been making pizzas before that? Did you have pizza experience?
I really didn't have no pizza experience.
What? So
I
how
did
did you
not.
decide that pizza was the way to go? That's interesting.
Well, let me tell you something. My first wife, we ate pizza every day. She loved pizza, so we would always go to Pizza Hut. But how I really got into doing pizza, first when I started with I was with Cisco Foods, and they had a pizza program, so I was using their stuff. So then I didn't like their stuff that much. So then we went with this guy named Ed Bruni. He owned a place called Gaetano's Pizzeria, and I was buying all my crust and sauce through him. And the guy was so good to me; he would always deliver it to me. I stuck with him all the way up until he passed, buying his product for him, and then I started making my own piece of sauce and piece of dough and everything.
So you were helping another business while building your business.
Right? Yeah. See, well, I never worked there. I was just buying his product from him.
Okay.
Yeah, I
So
never worked in a pizza place before.
so that's the shortcut then. You didn't have to learn how to make dough and make sauce and do all these things. You
Not at the
chose the route
beginning.
of
Not
okay.
till he died. Then I started making my own stuff. Yep.
Man, that had to be pretty scary too, just knowing that all right, I gotta figure out how to do this business in a different way.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of, but I was already working on it before he passed too, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had learned how to make my own, but I still stuck with him because he was so good to me. And I'm just that type of cat. Somebody good to me, I kind of stick with him.
Yeah, no, don't fix it if it ain't broken.
Exactly. Yeah.
How did the neighborhood receive you back in those early days?
I tell you, man, my neighborhood loved me, man. It really did. Because of uh, I mean, I always been active in the community. See, because we always had businesses throughout the community, and then I grew up in the community, so I was always active in the community. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was always there. I was always a part of the community. Uh, I never let nobody go hungry. I fed families and different things like that. Never let somebody come in and say they're hungry. I'm gonna give you something to eat. I
You
always
go
do
you
that.
you're not gonna be hungry here.
No, you ain't gonna be hungry. Yeah.
What was scary for you in those first couple of years?
And those first couple of years of really going into business was that I was young. I had first had two children, and just being able to really provide for them. And then the most scary thing was when I left my job and started doing it 100%.
How long did that take for you to say, all right, I can't do both of these things. I gotta go all in over here.
It took me about 2 years.
Okay.
It took me about 2 years, yeah, before I
Okay.
said
At
that,
that
yeah.
at that point, what were you able to replace your primary income from the business?
Yes, I was. Uh-huh. Yep.
Well, that's awesome. What was the team like for you back then? Who did you hire first?
Well, actually, I had a guy named Charles Porter that used to work for my father when we had our business down on Fifth Street. He was already working up there with me and my ex-wife, and then I started bringing in other people with me, several other people.
Yeah, I like that. When you have people that you're familiar with, and obviously having family in it, it means a little bit more because you got people who care more than beyond just a job, right?
Exactly. Yes. And see, and then also, I just really wasn't just a pizzeria. I was like a convenience store at the same time. I did burgers, pizza, chicken. I sold cigarettes, groceries, candy, everything, bread, all kind of stuff.
Do you still do all that?
I don't do the grocery stuff no more. I stopped the grocery stuff in about like 2017.
Okay, so then it became less convenience store and more
Just
pizza
all
and
hot
grill.
food. Yes,
Okay.
I do. I do pizza, chicken, burgers. fish. I just do basically all hot food now.
Is that did the menu evolve over time, or did you start with all of those things?
Well, actually, I wasn't. I wasn't really quite doing all of them because I wasn't doing fish back then. All I was doing was really just burgers, chicken, and pizza.
Okay, burgers, chicken, pizza from the beginning.
Well, no,
Added some
well,
fish.
first it was just burgers and chicken, and French fries and stuff like that. And then, like a year or two later, that's when I started doing the pizza.
Pizzeria owners, let me talk to you operator to operator for a second. Have you ever had trouble finding the right oven guy, or you starting to see some inconsistencies in your bake and your cook? Swapping an oven is not an easy thing to do. You're literally betting your whole business on it. Edge Ovens makes that call way easier. Instead of trusting a spec sheet or a demo on a showroom floor, George will load up the test truck and come to your shop and put your product through the oven. You'll get to see how the oven performs, how it bakes before you ever commit to anything. And that's the kind of proof that I respect. Not just because I'm running it myself here at the shop, but because these guys put their name on it and they show up. And listen, you don't have to take my word for it. Some of the best pizzerias in the country are already relying on Edge for that speed and that consistency. Follow hashtag Where's George today to see where George is headed, see if he's in your area. And if you want to schedule a test bake, go to edgeovens.com/testbake and schedule your demo today. I love that. What's been some of the biggest things that you learned? Because I ran into you in Las Vegas, and what I love is from an operator who's been in the game for 30 plus years, you still take the time to learn, to go invest in yourself and go get better. What's the motivation behind that? Because you got a good business, you the community love you. What makes you want to go push yourself to get better?
You know, I tell you, man, I just believe that life is forever. I just believe in keep making yourself better.
Yeah.
No matter what your age is, continue to make yourself better. I just when I was in college, I was in a junior college, Downley College. There was a lady in there. She was in her 80s, still going to school to get her degree, man. you
Wow.
know and like my dad was just a complete go-getter. You know what I'm saying? My parents are just complete go-getters. I mean, all the way up to my father died. I mean, he always opened businesses, always was doing business, always just and like with this phone and this new world that we living in now, these phones got us around the world just on one push of a button, man.
Yeah.
There's To me, there's no reason not to be successful, not to be doing what you want to do. And when I say successful, I don't mean you got to be rich or anything like that. I mean being successful, just doing what you desire, something that you want to learn and do it because it's available to you.
Yeah. Man, that's an incredible thing right there. What do you look for when you go to like to Pizza Expo or to these different shows and events? What are operator at your level? What do you look for?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. The first time I went to the Pizza Today show, it's called the Pizza Today show. It was up in Philadelphia. It was in Valley Forge, Philadelphia. It was in 1998. That was the first Pizza Today show I went to. I met this guy named Herman Cain, and I bought his book. Remember Herman Cain ran for
I,
president?
yeah, yeah. I had the Pizza Huts,
Yeah, not the Pizza Hut. He
or
had
was
the
it
Godfathers.
Godfather's Pizza in the gas stations?
Yes, he had the Godfathers.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah. I know what
I
you're
met
talking
him
about.
there. And what made me go to the pizza show? I just want to go see, learn new things, see what's new, see what's going on.
And then 20, 25 years later, you still go and you still learn and still take things back.
Yes,
I like that. I like that a lot.
and
What's
I go different places, man. Like even like when I travel and different things, I go to different places, see how they operate in business, see what's new. I just do that. Once you love your craft and what you do, man, you're always trying to learn and teach.
Yeah. What's your favorite pizza on your menu?
My number one pizza, honestly, my number one selling pizza is my 18th Street Special, which is the combination. But my
Yeah.
favorite pizza that I really like is the veggie pizza.
You like the veggie? I like that. I like the 18th Street. I didn't get the veggie. I got a cheese, a pepperoni, and the 18th Street. But
Uh,
that I like that. Your pizza is unique in the fact that you really load up the toppings.
oh yeah, I can get nice. Yeah, yeah. We get some toppings on there. Yeah.
How do you help? How does that? How do you manage costs? Because you get, there's always the school of thought that people try to give as little as possible, trying to make as much money, but you taking the opposite approach where you like, I'm gonna take care of you. I'm gonna give you good portions. How do you maintain profitability with that?
Well, I'm I'm in a good situation in a whole lot of different areas. You know what I'm saying? So I can give you a little bit more, and you know how you just kind of play musical chair. You know, I give you a little bit more here. I can take a little bit less off here. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's how I try to do it, you know. But my main thing is really satisfying the customer because when you put out a good product and a good service, the money will follow. I never
yeah.
believe in chasing the dollar. I believe in chasing a good service. And when you can
A
do a
good
good service, a good honest service, people gonna come back.
so you get the volume that cures it because you're able to give a good experience.
Yes, yeah, yeah. I truly believe in my my whole thing in business always have been give a great service, give a good service, and people come. And like in my opinion, I don't even think that you have to have the greatest food. I think the greatest service is the one that always wins.
People come back for the service.
People come back for the service. People come back because they like you. People come back because the way you take care of other people.
So I was one of the things I was thinking about with the frozen business. How do you still give that same level of experience when it's not you that's handing them the pizza? So like in the store is different. They come to see you, they get the experience, but when they order online and it shows up at the door, how do you ensure that same quality of experience?
Well, because I'm trying to put the same love into it when, you know, when we make them and pack them and everything. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, just trying to put the same love into it.
And you're pretty transparent on your social media. You show the process, you show the equipment you use, and how you packing them, and you get a lot of good like testimonials from people.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, because you know, people like people that's real. You know what I'm saying? They like people that's gonna give you good. That's gonna be straightforward with you. That's what I believe. You know, when you tell a lie, you gotta keep telling another lie. But if you tell the truth, you only gotta tell it one time. You know?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah.
What do what's it like now in the area? Have the big chains kind of follow suit? Because you're not you're popular there and they love you in the community, but you're recognized nationally at this point. Yeah, I saw, what is it? You were ranked 101st best pizzeria in the country.
Yeah. That was on the dailymail.com. They had us on the list of 101 one of the best pizzas in America.
That's amazing. How did that
Yeah.
happen?
Man, you know, I tell you, I did not even know how it happened because this is crazy thing. It's crazy work. The lady had called had called the store, right? And my wife handed me the phone, and the lady from Kansas City Star newspaper. She said, "I got a alert across my phone of 101, one of the best pizzas in America." I said, "Okay." She said, and I looked down the list to see if any of my favorite places was on here, and she said you was the only pizza place in our area to even make the list. I said, all right, you know, and and I said, hey, and that's how I found out. I didn't even know nothing about it. And,
So,
the news lady called me
oh, that's
from
pretty
Kansas City
cool.
Star. Yeah,
So out of, there's, at this point, probably 70, 80,000 pizzerias in America. Um, that's quite an honor.
you know, it truly is an honor. You know, just to even be on any kind of list, even be recognized anywhere. You know. And then especially being African American because we're not in pizza hardly nowhere in
Right.
my city or no other city that I know of
Not
that
too
we're
many.
really making pizza. Yes, and just even make the list made me feel good.
I love that. You also recognize as one of the top black businesses in Kansas City.
Yeah, yeah. I put work in, man.
Does that? I'm sure that inspires people in the community to either reach out to you for some advice or just come and sit and watch and learn from you or talk to you. How do you handle that responsibility as a business leader, as a black business leader in Kansas City?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I give it to them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like an open book. I'm like a. I try to be like a teacher. To be honest with you. Like I'm open. Anybody can come and talk to me. Anybody. I mean, I'm like a business coach for real. You know what I'm saying? I got people from all over the country call me and people in the community. Hey, Gary, in 1998, when I went to the Piece of the Day show, me and a partner of mine named Bernie Dickens, he lived down in Port St. Lucie, Florida now. We drove to New York City, and I saw something in New York that I brought back to Kansas City I wanted to do. It blew my mind. I went in stores. We was in Manhattan. I would go in stores, and stores would have three or four businesses. All this, it'd be like a 1,200 square foot store. It might be three or four businesses inside there, And I said, man, so I come back, and my store is probably like 1,500 square feet. So I let people sit in, like set little shops up or sit outside on the sidewalk and sell and different things like that. Because a lot of times people don't have the finances to start opening their own door up. So I kind of give people different opportunities.
I like that.
I'm big
You've
at doing that with people. Yeah.
created a space for business owners to come, not just learn, but also do business.
Learn and do business. Yes. Have an opportunity because of there's a lot of people don't have the finance to go into their own door. You know what I'm saying? To rent their own space or anything, but they got the idea.
Yeah. I appreciate you because you're one of the few people that pick up the phone just to call and say I'm checking on you. And you call me and say I don't want nothing. I just called to see how you doing, brother.
Oh yeah, yeah. I do
That's
that with people sometimes.
I
Yeah.
love that. And I really appreciate that because it makes me wish that I could do it more and push myself to do that more for other people. But understanding that that's not something that just happens. People don't. You're one of the few people that just pick up the phone and call me. At least for me, that call me and just say, "I don't want nothing. I just called to see how you doing."
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's love right there.
A lot of times, men don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Just somebody call, hey, how you doing today? Women get that. They even when you marry, one thing I've noticed, like when you marry, you still got your friends, but men don't talk to their friends like women do. Women don't lose their friendship. Men
Okay.
don't lose theirs either. But women, they ain't even got to be with them, but they still on their phone with them. I always keep communication. But
Yes.
you know, we men a different creature. We wrap ourselves in family and work and different things like that. It'll
Yeah.
take them sometimes. Hey, brother, how you getting along? You having a good day? I don't want nothing. I just call, see how you doing. I'll holler at you later.
Yeah.
I do a lot of people like that I fool with. Just call and check on you.
I love that. I love that. And I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So that let that be a lesson to just more folks out there. Check on your people.
hmm Yeah. Let me tell you this also. Like when I first started doing like the Facebook and all this kind of stuff, and TikTok was Facebook wasn't even around. It's a story like I told you how my kids would be laughing at me at different things. My two boys, because they were still in high school, they thought it was so boosy of me going live. Now my one son, he lived down in Miami, Florida. His name is Gary, and all he do now is TikTok and travel the world doing food reviews and stuff like that.
Wow.
That's how and I tease him, I laugh. I said, "Now, you thought it was so funny me doing it." And my youngest son, 7, that really does a lot of my advertising now for my frozen food. That's all he do now too. I said, boy, y'all used to laugh at your daddy. Now look at y'all.
They laughed at you and now they want to be a part of it. Now
Yeah,
they
now they a
do it.
part of it. Now they
Now
doing their own thing. Yeah.
oh man. Well, I mean, that plays into one of the other core things I think that happens in business is the legacy that you create, right?
Right.
And you took what your father, was able to build and created your own lane and path and carried it on. And now look at what your sons are doing. Um,
Exactly.
that's one of the things that I look to create for my children, for my boys. Whether they go do pizza or whatever they decide to do, at least they take what I've been able to build and do and just run with it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They build off of it.
Yeah.
You know, they might not start off with it because they might not like what you're doing, but in time, they make that full circle back around.
Oh, they can't stand. They don't want no cameras on them. They don't want to take no pictures. None of that.
Yeah.
They like just bring the pizza home.
you know, it's you know, life and kids and just life is funny. Like kids that like their friends wish their dad owned the store.
Yeah.
You know, and the kids that got the store hate their dad owned the store. You know what I'm saying? But then I can say this too though, and I can be honest about this too. Owning a business takes a lot away from a family.
Yes.
And kids look at things like time, and they see that it's not the money that people really think it is owning a business. You ain't getting rich, but you're making
Hmm.
a living. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And your kids see the reality of it, but the outsiders don't see it like that. They think you're rich.
Yeah. Really, you just got big expenses.
Boy, just got a lot of expenses. That's all you got. Yeah,
I got more expenses than the average man, but
that's
it's
it.
but what comes home is just like everybody else.
It's just like
Um,
everybody else. Yes.
yeah, I think that's 100% accurate. My oldest is now starting to work. He's always worked in the stores and kind of did his summer thing, but now he's like actually working since he's 14. He can clock in. He's keeping track of his time. He's getting his paycheck, and I think he's got a different appreciation for it because he has his own identity there without me. In this new store that we're in now, it's close to the house. I can just drop him off, and he don't want me babysitting him in the store. He's like, just drop me off, and
That's
that's a
cool.
new one for me. You know what I mean? Because I'm used to just being there with him, and he knows how to make dough and make pizzas, and he's working the oven and cleaning, doing things now. But now he's developing his own identity in the store and independent of me, and that's just to me, it's just like give me a little tear to see my baby in there working.
Oh man, that's a great feeling. That's
Yeah,
a great feeling. It's a whole nother feeling when you got your own kids watching the money and everything else.
yeah.
It's a whole nother feeling.
And he pays attention. He'll see me. He's like, "Who's in there today? Who working
Oh
tonight?"
yeah.
so
Yes.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
I can appreciate that. I don't know what it's going to lead to if he's going to want to do this or you know understanding all the things that we do, but for the step that he's at right now, I'm really appreciating that the stage that
Well,
he's in.
that's a good feeling. And if he look at it right, he can see he got a gold mine.
That's what I say.
If you look at it right, you know,
You,
sometimes you just got to pay attention to what you got and respect what you got, understand what you got. Sometimes you can't see it because it could be too close to you, but
hmm
hopefully he's seeing it.
Yeah, and my other one, my middle son, he wanted to make some money this summer. He's like, I need to make like $400. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
what you gonna do? So
Right.
he bought this little book at the book fair, and he decided he wanted to start a little bakery business. So he started making some different things, and I'm like, all right, here's what we'll do. I got the marketplace for you. You can sell any of your stuff in my shop,
There
in
you
our
go.
shop. So
Yes.
he's baking brownies, and like I'll buy all the material. Like I'll buy all your ingredients. I got everything. You keep all your money. So he's in the now. He gets one day, and today was he's gone today, but we'll go in on Monday, and he can just bake the brownies. I'm like, dude, I got everything you need. You got
Man,
all the
what a blessing.
ingredients. You got the kitchen. You got ovens. So we'll
Everything
bake
you
the
need.
brownies. We got bake the brownies, and he can set them out on the counter in the cooler, and he's got a clear path to his $400 now, and probably a whole lot more if he sticks with it and does it right. Um, but I love having that for the family where he can just I don't want to do allowance. You can do a business. Let's figure out how you can start something.
Yes. Yeah. And If he put his stuff on Facebook and different things like that, he'll go crazy.
And I
He
think
will
he's
go
getting that.
literally crazy.
Yeah, he's getting a little spark because we made a video and he's gone with a friend this weekend, or he's not back yet. But we made a video the other day and it got a couple thousand views. But one of the comments was like, I go to school with him. So now he got that. Oh man, this might be something real. And his brother's
It's
like, who
gonna
said
be.
that?
I got a young lady that in 2018 I started I allow her to set up inside of here. First she wasn't setting up. She was bringing in these it's called cheesecake jars, and I started letting them bring them in. I was selling for her, and then I started allowing her to come in and let her set a little cold case and sell her stuff. Man, that girl will sell $1,000 worth a day sometime in cheesecake jars
That's
and
awesome.
candy apples and stuff like that. Yes.
Yeah, I love it. And that's what he doing. He just doing little souffle cups. It's a brownie shot.
Uh
It's
huh.
small, little tiny little piece. Not tiny, but it fits in, a little 2-ounce cup. And he's just like, man, we can sell them cheap. We can sell a lot of them. And it's been about a week and he sell out every day.
See, that's what I'm saying. Yes, he gonna be at that $400 the first week.
He gonna
He
he
gonna be
gonna get
good.
he gonna get there real fast, and then maybe he gonna have to cover his own costs.
Well, believe me, he's gonna be able to do it real quick because he ain't got to pay no rent either. He gonna be okay.
Yeah, he don't got no rent. We're covering all of his ingredients, all his food costs. He don't have
Right.
no, it's on the counter, so it sells itself. It's not like we putting any labor into it. It's just right out there, and I think he could clearly see the path now, and I like that because it may spark him to do even more, even spark his brother, or, one of his friends to try to do something,
It's
um,
going to.
and that's what I
Yes,
love.
it's going to because it's even gonna spark him to even do something even greater.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. He gonna see that $1,000. He can, man, Dad, I got $1,000 in less than a month. He gonna be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I turn it into 2,000 or 10,000, and
Yes.
it
Yeah.
just grows from there. If you've gotten any value out of this episode or any of our other episodes, I need you to do me a favor. Go leave us a review. Every review on Apple, every 5-star rating on Spotify helps this show find more operators just like you and helps them get that same value that you're taking away from this episode. And as a thank you, anytime somebody leaves a review, sends me a screenshot, just DM me a screenshot of your review, I'm going to send you a free gift, something awesome, something cool. I'll send you a gift, whoever leaves a review. That's the challenge. Go leave a review, DM me a screenshot of it, and then I'll get you something. I got you something special from your boy. Now let's get back into the episode. Peace.